Hey.
All right. What's happening? Hey, man. What's happening, Nix?
What's happening,
Good
everybody?
to see you,
What's
man.
happening,
Good
viewers?
Good to see you. You ready to talk about some Atari goodness?
Oh, absolutely, Atari goodness. This is an interesting looking system. I've never seen this system before. The Atari 400.
We're going to talk all about it. We're going to dig into it. We're going to
Absolutely.
give it a review. We're going to give it a final rating. I've had time to play with it a little bit, and I'm ready to give my review and maybe show some footage of how to sideload some ROMs. Because let's face it, that's the good stuff, isn't it? Isn't it?
Absolutely, Nick? It is.
I'm just going to show a quick little flashback of me unboxing the system. This is from Arcade Talk, and then we're going to dive into some gameplay of what it plays like, how to sideload ROMs, what you have to do. And let's get it started. So here's when I unbox the system. Let's check that out first. First clip.
All right, it's fantastic. Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah. You ready to do this?
Ready, man? Unboxing of the Atari
Let's do it.
400 Mini.
Let's do it.
Let's see the box over there.
Unbox this mug. Man, they didn't even send it in a box. Look how they sent it. In a bag, man. In a bag.
What?
Yes.
In a bag, team. In a bag. In a bag. It's not even protected.
It's cheaper. That's one way to cut costs.
Nick,
This bubble. Air is
lucky
free.
You didn't get crushed. Lucky you didn't get crushed.
Air is free when they use bubble packing like that.
Is that why
Yeah, and you're
they do
absolutely right. But yeah, boxes are becoming a thing of the past. I've noticed.
Yeah, that being said, it's a miracle. Look at it. It did come in. Look at it. It came in good
Yeah.
shape. I mean, I can't believe it. But it seems like, when you do shipping, it's so hit and miss, This is what the box looks like.
Yeah, it'd be nice if the box comes in immaculate condition, but usually most stuff is purchased online
Really?
nowadays.
Well,
You just don't go to the stores and pick this stuff up anymore.
Yeah, it's not New Wave Toys. Not New Wave Toys. We don't have a box inside of a box inside of a box.
Inside of a box.
Well, it wasn't
Protected by
box.
another box, yeah.
It wasn't triple box, Nick. This was like, here it is. You get it. It's in a bag, So
Yeah,
let's
absolutely.
check this out, and we'll just watch a little bit of this. I got an unboxing camera set up. I went crazy. I got an unboxing camera set up. Let me use my unboxing camera.
Use your unboxing camera.
I spent all this time making an unboxing camera. There we go.
What up, Rainwater?
Getting fancy there, Nix.
I can't believe it's just a bag.
Let me move this Game Station Pro out of the way. This is where
Yeah, a lot of stuff I've been ordering off Amazon has been coming in a bag.
From Amazon?
Yeah, from Amazon.
I didn't know you could pre-order it over there.
No box, just a bag.
But look at the nice bag,
Bag and another bag.
which is nice. Look at that.
Let me see if we can get that on the screen good. So they do put it in plastic, so if it gets wet, it won't ruin it.
I'm
Plastic,
glad they
I
put
guess-
it in another.
The point of the plastic, I guess, if it gets wet, it doesn't soak into the cardboard, right? What do
Oh,
you
yeah, it would
think?
just destroy the unit. Big, yeah. It just
destroy the box if it got wet, because they just throw stuff on your front, the front. Of
Well,
your
when it
door.
comes to electronics, it all depends on how it gets shipped. It probably comes through on a container ship, right? So with the sea and the air and the moisture, it just makes sense to cover all these electronics, even if they're in a container, just to protect it. So it's not garbage when it gets to the shore. That would be my educated guess why it's wrapped like that.
One of the big
Absolutely.
reasons I wanted to have you on too is you were with me when we did the Game Station Pro review. Remember the Game
Yeah,
Station?
and that's one thing I was just going through my mind
I
here.
want to talk about
the
comparing these
comparison. Yes,
side by
absolutely.
side. I have them side by side because I think these are
What did we exactly? What behooved? What would make me as a consumer, if I had the choice between the two, want to choose one over the other? Let's dive into it. Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get in after we look at the features and we'll talk about it. But that was a big reason for I wanted to get you back because you did such a good job with the Game Station Pro review that we did.
Oh, absolutely. I've been
One of
enjoying
my
that
favorite
piece of
videos on
hardware.
the channel if you haven't checked it out.
That's good. It could get fucked up in that one. Yeah, first one.
It comes off the
You're breaking
protective
seal,
plastic.
Papa, Brady.
Nick.
Breaking the seal.
Seal, man, the
protective plastic.
Now, you would
How
know
you
since
just
you've
went down.
purchased both of them,
Plastic
is
is
there
coming off
a price comparison difference
Stop, Brad. Don't say it's so.
between the
this
two
is
units?
more expensive, I think. I think I paid
Yeah.
about $120 for it.
400 mini.
I was wearing this Atari shirt for a reason, T. McCloskey. You didn't even know.
And I can see why already out of the box why it would
I knew
cost a little bit more. There's
I knew
more
that.
to the unit. There's
so
like
let's
it's got
see.
it's got a keyboard
Jesus
on
said, I
it.
hope yours wasn't
That's
dropped.
fully
My second
functional.
one was
I
second.
would
Now, the
assume.
keyboard does
More
nothing,
rig.
Nick.
Pretty good. Okay, so
Does
that's
nothing.
Nothing. It's ornamental.
Really? It's ornamental.
ornamental. You have to
None of
use
those buttons on that keyboard work.
These are the
None of
other
those buttons
computers
I
that can
can
do it.
do.
Wow,
The
okay.
400, the 800,
Start and the select and all that. None of that works.
5200.
And that's going
All
to
those
affect the
computers,
review
look at
when I
that.
get my final rating.
So you can play all those games on this one?
Yeah, all these different platforms work on this.
That's awesome.
Like we're not.
'Cause
gonna
my
get super
question would
into
be
it.
what
We'll power it up.
games-
We'll look at what it looks like, but
That
I'll
would
figure out
require a
how to put ROMs
keyboard
on it, too. We'll do
use.
that on a different.
I would
all the
do-
Atari computer
Yeah,
games.
well,
Yeah,
And you can
I've
plug
never
in a
s-
USB keyboard.
Yeah,
some-
yeah,
the
that
other
would
side?
be what I would recommend, I
The other
guess,
side?
to be able to
Yeah.
play those.
Was that? That's the back, right?
Break the
They made a
seal here.
special controller.
Load your own games via USB. Well, there you go. There's a USB in there.
Those
Let's get to
games.
this unboxing section here.
It comes with
and
some
then
good
we'll
ones.
pause it for a minute. We'll
It comes
talk
with
about
Berserk and Bruce Lee. What more you want? Millipede.
Oh, nice.
Comes with some good ones.
Yeah.
But definitely
But you know,
That's a good
compare-
job.
the
We're
real
we're
strength
definitely
is
gonna
you can
compare
load your own.
Game Station Pro versus the 400 Mini.
now
Today.
this has some licensed Activision games on there.
No.
No,
You have some Atari. You have some Atari games.
Berserk. What was the developer who made that again? I thought that was Activision. Short-term memory loss.
I think it was
I can't remember.
Atari
I was gonna be about to
was
say-
Stern. What happened?
You got a
A little pause.
wired-
Okay, so here we
You
go.
don't get arrested.
I'm gonna skip forward a little bit. See if I can
But,
just get to the highlights.
I'll figure out how to put ROMs on it too. We'll do that on a different arcade talk. This
Yeah,
doesn't
We're
take
putting the
long.
ROMs on. Let's
Um,
open the
nice.
box and
Okay,
see what
so-
it looks like.
Here's the other side.
Definitely side by side
side?
comparison.
Get to it.
Definitely like that it comes with the original controller.
Yeah. What's a special
Replica,
controller?
yeah.
Power reset. or
Yeah,
something.
USB end.
kinda
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the-
absolutely.
Trying to get where I can see just the unit. There it is.
Or is it
Okay, so
plastic?
there it is in the
It's
box.
rubber.
It comes like
Ah,
that.
so this is like the original. Okay.
It's
that's
like
cool.
the it's like
It's a
the
lot
2600
smaller. Look
joystick.
how little it is. That's my. I mean,
Let's
it's
see
pretty
what
small.
else we got in here.
Oh yeah, so
It's
it's
a
about
little-
it's about the
little
size of like
computer.
those NES minis
Oh,
and
yeah.
the
Yeah,
whole,
it's
that
like
whole
the
line
size of
of
the NES
yeah.
It's very Atari.
I would say yeah.
It comes with a book.
that's
The book
tiny.
really
Look
doesn't
at
tell
that.
you a whole
Here,
lot.
here.
It's very basic.
Small.
I
It
thought
does
it'd be
look like
bigger.
a
I thought it'd
retro
be a little bigger
Atari
too. It's a
manual,
little
though.
smaller than I thought it was going to be,
It's
but
very basic.
that's what she said, T. McCloskey.
So it's just pretty much just
Never
a
told me that.
it's just a
The
shell,
keyboard
a
doesn't
cosmetic
do anything,
shell.
and
The
this
keyboard
doesn't
doesn't do
Yeah, it's
anything,
just a
and that doesn't
cosmetic
open.
shell.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
just like a Raspberry Pi case. Think of it like that.
so that's essentially what it is. It's sort of like a glorified
Case for it, yeah.
Pi device of sorts.
Yeah, feature wise, you have 4 USBs coming from the front. And
Put up. You can't actually put cartridges in or anything.
Now you just gotta force it.
Front and the back.
look at all the ports.
Now, when I say
Don't-
that, though,
don't you
all
get
the
back
all
there.
the devices
There's,
essentially were
it looks
glorified.
like a
The NES
USB
Mini.
port. Looks like
Yeah.
an
And all that,
HDMI
yeah.
Oh,
port
that's got HDMI. And then
and
that
a
one.
USB-C.
That's
port
where you.
probably
That's
for
the
power.
USB you put your
So
ROMs
hopefully I
on
can
right
just
there in the
plug where I
back.
have my,
See, now that's what I
PlayStation Pro
appreciate
plugged in.
that
This thing will work.
these devices
Nothing
when they
else on
when
the
they do
sides or anything?
manufacture them and bring it put it out to the public that they allow
There's
us
a
to
button
do
on the
that.
back.
In regards to the
power,
NES
maybe
Mini and
power
Super
reset
Nintendo,
or
where they
something.
didn't have that
Kinda like the
accessibility to
DCS has
side load.
that power button. in
What
back.
you bought on there was what you got.
There's another
Yeah.
box here.
Let me put some of this stuff up real quick.
And same with the Game Station Pro being able to sideload as well. So it's much appreciated, the ability to sideload. So that's a plus.
Yeah,
Colin,
that is
for
a
this
huge,
400
huge
Atari.
plus.
Yeah, it's a plus.
That's a huge plus.
Oh, does that?
This
So does
thing
that
would
port to the
never be
front?
worth it with the stuff.
Yeah, that's where you put the USB, I guess.
You plug in the controller in that.
And that also is a nice touch that has the
front.
4 ports. So if there's
Oh, yeah, so you
games
get
that
4
support
USBs.
Yeah. So
you can plug up
four
4
player
controllers on
action,
that?
you can do that.
You could, and a keyboard.
That's right, and mouse probably too. Huh?
So
Yeah.
in comparison to the Game Station Pro, where as opposed you can only have two
that's what I said,
two
two
player
ports.
action,
Other
there's
than
no 4 ports.
Yeah, you can go up to four players with this, but you're gonna have to use like different. It works with a lot of game controllers too. It's pretty universal as far as finding game controllers. Okay, so we'll skip forward a little bit. Let's see. Let's get a little bit here. Okay, setting it up,
This is top next.
powering it on.
Up next.
You select
Is it
your
the red button?
language.
That's the red button.
Side button.
That took me a while next because, okay, on your joystick here,
Yeah.
you know the little
Oh,
ring
is it the
that goes
top
around
button on the-
joystick?
The unit itself, maybe.
These are
Huh.
buttons. Like when you press top, that's a button.
Oh, they put buttons right on that ring. Eh?
There's 4 buttons on the ring.
But
And
you-
we're gonna
you already
talk
did
about
that.
when we get to reviewing it too. But the 4 buttons.
That's an interesting placement
yes,
to,
yes.
to put
There's-
those.
At first, I couldn't figure out where is
And
the
you
button I
selected
pressed.
English, so
and
you got
they
that
call
part
it
down.
top because if you look at the joystick, it actually
I
says
feel really dumb.
top.
What is it? F select.
Right there on
I don't know what I think about
But
that.
you already selected English, so
We're gonna
Your
talk
hand,
about-
your hand. Yeah,
Oh
we'll
my
talk
goodness.
about that. Yeah, I've already got some initial thoughts already.
yeah. So you got F down.
That's not a
What's-
plus.
What's the top?
No,
It has
Now,
buttons.
of course, you
and
can't
what-
plug
what
in other
was-
joysticks.
What about the?
well,
next.
to make
I
matters
mean, you think it would be a
in
top button?
comparison, like that's a better design than
Let me
what we
look.
have here. All right, with this trigger,
think
what
it'd
the
be
heck?
on the
With
unit
that, I
itself.
don't like.
I don't know. I'm not so sure. That joystick is completely wireless.
And you ain't got so many buttons on
Yeah,
the joystick.
it's-
there.
That's a
You
pl-
could
that's a
select
pl-
the colors.
Yeah, that's a plus on that. The
the
spinner
joystick,
isn't nice.
stick
The only
itself push
only
down?
problem is
I don't
the
think
button
so.
placement. When you want to play emulated games where it requires the 2 or more
so
buttons.
Jason said take
You're having
hands
if you're going to
off
use
the
this as a
joystick
controller,
and
you
press
have
the
to kind of
orange
use
base.
that as a button.
Yeah,
Which-
it's kind of
Those are
weird.
active
It's kind of
buttons.
weird. Like you're using
Goes
a
on the
trigger, a
base
top
itself.
button, and
Yeah,
the
so
button at the bottom. It's kind of weird.
Press the orange base.
But I think on the next revision they're
Take
going to
hands
fix
off
that.
joystick.
yeah, I did
So,
catch that
obviously,
that they did
we'll
change
have
the
a button.
placement. They actually put more buttons
how long it takes me
on
to-
there. Yeah.
It's so counterintuitive.
Oh,
How long it takes
it
me to
says
figure
top,
out where the
look.
button is. I'm like, where's
Wait
the
a minute. I
button?
think I
Just
figured it
select
out. Wait a minute, dude.
The
This
button
is crazy.
actually, when you get this, it's on
Look
the
at this.
joystick.
See where it
at the
says top
right
on the
here.
joystick?
Oh yeah,
That is a button.
That was it. It's a button, dude.
that's a damn button.
It's
What?
a damn button.
Who would have thought that?
Who would have thought that, T.
I
McCluskey?
never thought that.
I see the 2 buttons that it has in the
That
front.
is the
That's where all the
button,
buttons
Team
should kind of be.
There is a button.
Unlike
Sort of
the
out of the
other
way
one,
from where you're holding it.
You have
On
active
the
buttons
corner.
around the
This
base.
corner is also a button right here.
It's
right
weird.
here.
That's so-
Yeah, no, this would be how you'd hold a controller.
Top is a button.
So you have all this
There's a ring
space
around, it's all buttons.
where you don't have your finger. This is
And
how
there's
and
two
a normal
buttons on
person
the
would
front.
hold it. Yeah.
Yeah. Which you never hit, of
Active
course,
buttons
because they're
around the
away
base.
from you while you're playing.
I think it's-
Joystick.
Okay, there we go.
Even having buttons on the back where they
we're
have
in.
nothing
Hold on,
right
let me make
now,
this full
that's where they
screen
could have
so
put
Okay, there's what the
some
console
buttons
looks
to
like.
definitely make sure you're not
It's a
hitting
side by
And
side.
we're in the games list now. Let's
Game
see what we
Station
got.
Pro versus Atari 400.
Okay, so you got your joystick. Move me around. Let's see what games.
That's a nice interface. I like that. It's
Asteroids,
got the
basketball.
Yeah.
Battle Zone.
Here's your
Boost.
stock games. You got Basketball, Battle Zone, Boulder Dash. That game is fun. I played that one earlier today. Centipede, Crystal Castles. So here's the thing: the stock games you're getting from the Atari heavy hitters of classic Atari.
Mhm.
You have Centipede, Battle Zone. You've got the Bruce Lee game, which is fantastic. I mean, that's probably that was one of the reasons that pushed me to get this. Is I really like the Bruce Lee game. Then you got some deeper cuts like Mule. So there's quite a bit in there that's interesting as far as the game selection. You get 25 games next, 25 games stock.
Mhm.
Okay. Mule. We're looking through the games. Millipede, Miner 2049. That's another great.
Yeah.
So these are some good. These are some good.
I definitely think that's a minus
games.
in the minus column for the games list in comparison.
Missile Command.
Game Station Pro.
And next, this is a game I'd love to play against you. Wavy Navy. Imagine Space Invaders on an ocean that is rolling. It's great. It's great.
Yeah. So yeah,
that to me is the surprise hit. So Berserk, big guns are Asteroids, Berserk. Let's listen to a little bit of Berserk gameplay.
Berserk.
Start. So now we're talking about the stock games.
Oh, okay. These buttons do stuff around.
And now, which version of Berserk is this again?
Atari computer.
Atari. Oh, so it's the computer version.
Computer
Okay, so this will be on par with arcade.
It's
the arcade version.
Not arcade, but
it's close. It'll be like the best close port to it. Yeah.
It's better than the enhanced 2600 as far as the sound and stuff.
Let's see.
Like I already like the look of it already in comparison to.
Oh, it does the voice. It just did it.
Yeah.
I heard it.
It looks a lot like the.
Oh.
Rainwater says he thinks the 25 games is just a smoke screen. They expect you to sign it. I think so.
Well, that's one way for them to
add value.
Add value for themselves.
It would not have the value, right? I can tell you with the 25 games.
Yeah,
if I was not to sideload anything, I don't think it would have $120 value.
Well, they'd have to pay more money for the licenses, which would hurt their bottom line. So it's
but that's the way it was, T.
But in comparison to the NES and the Super Nintendo Mini, how many games did those have on it, right? It's about comparison to the game list. But with the option to sideload, so...
Dude, I can't wait to put the fender on this mug.
I would say the decision would be based on how well the emulation runs, what you can or cannot sideload on here, what's available to you.
It's close, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not the New Wave Toys. It's not the New Wave Toys.
Yeah, this is not the New Wave Toys arcade Berserk.
Oh my goodness. This is authentic to the Atari computer.
I will be interested to see what kind of emulators it has on it. If you could actually sideload like Nintendo, Sega Genesis, etc.
I think this is an Atari computer mainly. And
so how do I get out of it?
It sounds like the robots have a sore throat or something.
If you hit both buttons, the keyboard thing turns up. Okay.
There was the virtual keyboard.
Well, I'd be interested to see the interface for sideloading, what it looks like.
Yeah. I'm going to show that in a minute. Okay, so then we play some Battlezone. And a Battlezone's pretty cool. This is an included game. It's one of the better included games.
Graphics-wise.
Hey, there's Lord DB. There we go.
Hey, what's up? Donkey Balls is in the house. Lord Donkey Balls, man. So here we have some Berserk action. One of the included games. It's one of the better ones.
I do enjoy the look of those cabinets, but I don't like the look of the controls on the control panel of those cabinets. They just don't look right.
Yeah.
But I understand. You got to be careful making things super small because it makes them break.
Yeah, you got to probably be a little careful. Then I go to playing. This is the best included game. This game's fantastic. I mean, this is the headliner for me of buying this is Bruce Lee. Which they had to retitle Lee, I guess, because of copyright, you know.
Get him.
So they just titled it Lee, but this is Bruce Lee, 100%. Plays good, just like I remember it. This was one of the. To me, this is the headliner game of the 25
That's a good
games.
idea, man.
It's a very old game. I mean, it's but it holds up. A lot of fun. Bruce Lee.
That's pretty cool.
Here's some Crystal Castles. These are all the Atari computer versions.
Yeah, it's very close to the arcade version. Not quite, but it looks very close.
You gotta remember, Nix, this was out at the time that the 2600 was out.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine going from 2600 to this. Like we thought we were in heaven. We were like, you know, this was a huge jump at the time when this was originally out.
Yeah, for home gaming, yeah.
Home gaming it was.
The people that could have those computers that ran them.
People were playing the 2600 at the time, okay?
Quit hitting those buttons.
Did it crash?
So now we're talking about the buttons. This is a lawn mowing game. This one was included. Jeff Minter game.
Is that a bird?
Oh, you go slower when you go through that, and you go fast.
So you got some retro cuts in
Basketball
here,
was
some
like
interesting choices. You got basketball.
Slam dunks, like a slam dunk.
Not much different than the Atari 2600 basketball. It's got a little bit better
This
graphics.
is just like NBA Jam.
Can he punch?
No, this is
No, you
live,
can't do
Lord
nothing.
Donkey Balls. We're live. Say hello, Nick.
Nice. What's happening, man?
We're just checking out the preloaded games. Then there's a secret. If you plug in a VCS
Might have to hold it down for a little bit.
joystick, it unlocks 2 secret games. The first secret game, of course, is I think they call it.
Oh yeah, it
they
looks a
gave it
little
different name.
better than Warlords.
Oh, it's like Castle something.
Actually, looks pretty
But
cool.
it's
man.
actually
I mean,
Warlords.
it's a little,
Yeah,
it's
that's
nicer
Warlords.
than,
It's very
Yeah.
similar to the arcade version.
100% Warlords, but they renamed it
Bonus.
to Castle
Bonus
Crash
games.
or some other name.
Bonus
Um,
games.
We gotta plug the joystick.
How cool is that, T. McCloskey? There's already an Easter egg.
Yep.
And I am using the turning function of the VCS joystick to make this.
So you can use the
And-
rotary
Oh yeah, that's right. You
And
need
that
to-
and
you
that
need
and
that.
that's probably why it unlocks it is
Spinner to
because
control my
yeah,
thing. That's
Yep.
why I
if
can
you
do
don't
that.
have the
See that?
spinner
Yep.
controls
And
recognized,
the
it won't
joystick, of
won't
course,
show the
grabs
game.
Fireball.
Yeah.
Got some Warlords action going on here.
Yeah, you need that for like a spinner.
Yeah. We did it.
And the cool thing
Cool.
about that is if
That's
you
why
you
have
can play
breakout,
4-player
breakout too, because you had the
with
spinner
that.
on there.
if you got the controls for it.
Oof, he's almost got me.
4-player locally. Yeah.
Not doing too good. Ooh, I should have went for him.
But you can do that on the Game
Green
Station
alone,
Pro
Green's-
too.
Green's deadly. Lee's trying to take me out. One more. I got you, Blue. I
Okay, so
you,
we
Blue.
got some Warlords action. A couple more of the games. Star Raiders 2.
That's a good game. Star Raiders 1. I remember playing that. 2600.
Nope.
The asteroids are more
Asteroids.
round. That's about it. I
It's
think I
Atari
like the
computer
7800
asteroids.
asteroids better.
Yeah, that was more realistic than this one.
So anyway, looking at the stock 25 games, I mean, there's definitely some good Atari retro games in there that you can enjoy, but you're gonna get through the 25 games pretty quick. But there are some good ones in there. Millipede is really fun. I know. But where the real strength lies, of course, is in side loading it. Okay, to side load it, basically all you got to do, you're gonna take a. Let me see if I pulled it up. Hold on real quick. Let me look at something. Let me go back. Close. What's the name of that game?
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how the emulation
That's
runs.
what they call Warlords. Castle Crisis, Nix. Castle Crisis.
Never
Castle Crisis.
heard a game called that.
Have
from
you ever
that
heard of
era.
Castle Crisis?
No, Crystal Castles.
There it
and-
is. Castle Crisis. See it?
No.
Castle Crisis.
No, there was never an arcade game, whatnot, called that. No.
But yeah. Okay,
Wonder why the
I got it-
rebranding.
I got
What's
it
wrong
up.
with
I got it up. Let me
Warlords?
critique the games. Okay, so I haven't played every one of them, but Asteroids is good, Basketball is good, Battlezone's good, Berserk is good, Boulder Dash is great. Haven't played these ones too much. Castle Crash is Warlords, which is good. Centipede, Crystal Castles. You got Bruce
Yeah, that
Lee.
definitely is a
That's-
thin list.
That is the best game on here. You got Mule. Oh, what is this? What is this, Nix?
That's media
USB
access.
stick. What is that? Okay, we're gonna go through the stock games. We'll get back to that. Millipede, Miner 2049er, which is great. Now these are good games. These are a good if you're into Atari computer. You got O'Reilly's Mine, 7 Cities of Gold, Star Raiders 2, Super Breakout if you plug in the joystick, and Wavy Navy, which to me is kind of a hidden gem of the bunch. I like that one a lot. That's it. And Jump, which is like a tunnel game. It reminds me of a cell phone game. But we gotta remember
it's
this
like
is
Tempest almost, like a
no,
tunnel.
it's
tunnel?
like
No.
it's like you're going down I'll just play a little bit of it real quick. You're going down like a tunnel, and here's the bezel you get. Let's start this thing. Anyway, you can see there's the bezel. Press fire to Yump. Okay. Oh, I gotta look at the screen here. So you're a bouncing ball.
Okay, well, let's see. This rotates when you turn.
Yeah.
Oh, the ball does. Oh, so yeah, you go around like a Tempest. So it's similar control, but it's more of you have to pick the right path to go. You're not shooting enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah, the enemy is the path going down the tunnel. So it's similar gameplay to Tempest, but you're not shooting at anything, but you're just trying to avoid the
It's like
open.
those running games,
Yeah.
you know? It's like
So
those running games.
it's almost like they've mixed
Awesome.
Marble Madness and Tempest together almost.
Yeah.
But it's like a bouncy ball. So that's now. Can you control the bounce? Yeah, obviously it looks like you can control the
you can
bouncing.
bounce.
Yeah,
You can jump
yeah.
too.
So it's all about it's a timing game. Yeah.
But yeah, this game's on there. Kind of cool.
It was almost like the music
Yeah.
plays a part in it too. Yeah.
Okay, so anyway,
That's cool.
that's you.
That could be. That looks like a little fun one. Yeah.
Press both buttons. You pull up a virtual keyboard.
Ah,
Get out of it.
that's cool.
Hit the button. Get out of it. So those are the included games.
Yeah, it's a nice user interface. I like that.
Yeah. Let's add this one to stage.
I agree, Rainwater. The music is rocking. And that's weird how they have that smack dab in the middle of the list. The side.
Okay, so you just take a flash drive. Needs to be formatted to FAT32. Find you some Atari computer ROMs through nefarious sources. I'm not gonna tell you how to get the ROMs, but all you gotta do is go in any engine, go in Google, type Atari computer ROMs. You're gonna find them. It's not hard. Took me all of about 5 minutes to find some games. Get myself back on camera real quick. Switch my camera.
So how do you find the emulation on these side-loaded games?
Built in.
It's playing.
Built
It's playing.
in. When you
Yeah, it's
plug
playing
the
pretty good.
USB stick in, the emulation's excellent.
Yeah, just
Emulation's
in
really
comparison
good.
to the Game Station Pro, it's like pretty much spot on. The emulation's pretty smooth.
It's probably as good, if not better, for Atari computer games.
Mhm.
Of course, I play the only game that matters. Got to fire up some Star Wars Arcade on the computer. Now, this is the Atari 400, 800 computer version, Nix. Have you ever seen this version?
No.
And I'm reminding you, this was out when the 2600 was out. Look how much better it looks. So, yeah, this was a cool game to have. I did edit it a little bit so the gameplay footages aren't so long. We're going to blow up the Death Star here. Look at these graphics. Wow, that was so impressive, huh? Look at those amazing Atari computer graphics.
That's pretty cool.
So what this is and what this isn't, okay? Caverns of Mars. Man, now this game, this is a retro game. This is a good one. This will be a fun game to score chase too, Nix.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever played this one on the Atari computers?
I played. No, I played the Recharged, and it's pretty cool. But
did they make a 2600 version of Cavern of Mars? This game is fantastic.
I believe they have. Yeah,
I mean,
a 2600 version. Yeah.
This game is super fun. I would give this game, like, for a retro game, I'd give this probably like a 9 out of 10. It's that good.
I just don't like the Recharged version because once you get to the end, it's over.
And man, this stage next, you have a gap between your bullets, and this stage is so tricky. Yeah, because there's just stuff. It just
you're shooting the fuel too. Yeah, you're running out of fuel.
It's like you know.
Gotta collect those fuel, which they look like enemy ships, which is deceiving.
Instantly, I'm getting some of the classics that I don't get to play, like the Atari computer version of Caverns of Mars. This is Caverns of Mars, and this is a great game. I would say seek this one out.
Wow.
If you haven't played it before, you like retro games, this is a fun one. And it has like a whole sequence that you go through.
Yeah.
First you go through the cavern, then you got to get through this stage with all these bullets coming at you. And
then there's a base at the end. Yeah.
And there's a base. Is that the way the recharge is?
The recharge, it ends after you get to the base. Then it's game over, and then what you get score you got is what you got. And it doesn't roll over and you keep playing.
It doesn't keep going.
So that's what I don't like about it. I like the fact that these ones, they keep going. He'll get to the base and you'll start over and boom. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting to the end of the base. You touch this crazy energy ball at the bottom.
Caverns of Mars, Lord Donkey Balls.
And then Nix, it's a race to get out before the whole thing blows up.
That is not in the recharge version. You don't actually escape. No, you don't even escape.
30 seconds to get out of all this.
They took that out.
and then the cavern blows up. So they took that out, but
Oh, you have enough fuel just as much time to get out too. Oh my god.
it's crazy, man. It goes down to the last couple seconds. But this is a game I would search out.
I would definitely probably rather to play these older retro ones compared to the recharge. This looks it's got more meat on the bone.
And of course, this I
Gameplay
think,
wise, yeah.
according to I think it's a disc-based game too. So it'll play the discs, like the floppy discs or the
Nice.
cartridges. So
You made it.
what this is for the person that wants, Atari computer emulation, where you can play the old Atari games, it's really good for what it is. It does do it well.
I like that cavern too, so I like how it keeps going.
Yeah,
Resets,
it keeps
just
going.
gets
It
faster.
just increases the difficulty. And the ships will eventually start firing off at you and stuff, so it increases the difficulty as you go through it, like most good retro games, So, of course, whenever I see that, the graphics always remind me of Scramble.
Looks so awesome.
This section is hard, like I said, because you're constantly moving around because your bullets are separate. There's a gap. There's a gap in your bullet pattern, so it makes things more challenging.
I agree, Rainwater. Like the recharge is has the roguelite, but no, that's not. This is better, in my opinion. Like this is back to the basics, bare bones. There's no upgrades. Just go down. It's shoot skill.
This is just pure reflex.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's score chasing. When you're done, you get a final score. You're going for the best score. It's a score chasing.
Yeah,
game.
I'd rather score chase on this than recharged. Absolutely.
But that's a winner. Okay. Basically, you just put all your ROMs onto a flash drive. Let's see, I got some of the same games. They play exactly the same whether you play them from a ROM or play them off of the ones that were the same.
Yeah, I'd be wondering if you make.
Seems dead on.
I'm wondering if you make a specific folder for like the other platforms, if it would work just like the GameStation Pro. If you made like an NES folder.
I think you can. Yeah, I don't think.
I'm wondering.
I think it just does the.
I'm
Atari
curious. I'm curious because maybe it does.
Here's another one I really wanted
Should
to
definitely
try
check
out.
that out.
This is the Atari Computer Defender. And I don't know if you've ever seen the Atari 2600 Defender and how awful it is. It's god-awful with all kinds of flickering.
Oh yeah, can't play a game like that.
Playing this at home on your TV set, on a color TV, was just amazing. I mean, this feels like Arcade Defender, Look how good this is. This was an amazing port of Defender they did for the Atari computers. I'm playing it terribly, but, it's been a while since I played it, but it really does play great.
All those sprites and everything on the screen at the same time. It's amazing.
And I think if I remember right, to do the Smart Bomb, you had to use the keyboard. So I have to hook a keyboard up if I want to use the Smart Bomb on that. We'll check out a couple more classics that aren't included. Here's Dig Dug. So I'm sure you're going to say Mr. Do. Better game, Mr. Do or Dig Dug? You're probably going to say Mr. Do. What do you think?
I think Mr. Do gives you more of an opportunity for success. I think Dig Dug is a little bit more relentless when you get further into the game.
Start a poll while we're talking, yeah.
Like when they do that, when they turn like white and they come after you, I think as you get through the levels, they almost do that almost once the level starts. It doesn't give you an opportunity. Whereas Mr. Do, you have a little bit of an opportunity to strategize once you enter a level. Now, Mr. Do, I believe, came out first over Dig Dug, and Dig Dug would be like sort of like a spiritual successor, almost shooing away. So, I think I would explain the difference in difficulty and approach to the gameplay. I would have to say Dig Dug would be a little bit more difficult to play.
So anyway, this is a real big upgrade too. Once again, this is a huge upgrade from the from the Atari 2600, which was out at the same time.
Oh yeah, I had that. I had that when I was a kid, and it was pretty
You've seen
easy.
the 2600, Mr. Do. This is really impressive compared to the other systems that were out at the time.
Well, so this was definitely an arcade favorite in the arcades. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Remember playing that one.
So once again, we're bouncing out of the menu. Let's see what game I got to check out next.
And Rainwater, by the way, over 130K on Mr. Do.
Yeah,
it's my high score.
That's a good
I couldn't
score,
believe
man.
I got that.
We started score chasing. Look at this Donkey Kong.
Not bad. I
Not
like the color palette.
Not quite ColecoVision. No, I'm gonna edit this because it takes forever to get through the game. But not quite ColecoVision level. But compared to the 2600 Donkey Kong, this was incredible.
Yeah, it looks like it runs pretty smooth. No flickering.
Runs smooth. It feels like Donkey Kong while you're playing it. Everything works like you would expect it would work. Jason's going in for a Mr. Do. Please vote in the poll. Lots of Mr. Do fans. I'm outnumbered here, Jeff.
Oh, absolutely.
Where's the Atari love? We have the elevator stage. And let's see if I can make it through the elevator stage. And these were the Atari computer cartridges. So compared to the 2600, this was a massive, massive upgrade. I would say probably next to ColecoVision, this was the second best Donkey Kong back at that time period. I think ColecoVision's still the best, but this one was pretty good. There was Atari computer Donkey Kong, playing it through side loading. Take a flash drive, needs to be fat 32. I like the way it shows the loading up screen, like if you're booting it from a disc. This game's incredible, Nix. Frogger.
Yeah, this
Look
looks...
how good this port of Frogger is.
Yeah, I like the way the turtles, the logs look up there. The cars look pretty good.
Great. This version of Frogger was probably one of the best ROMs I played. I mean, it's just so smooth. Like, I don't know why I keep.
Oh, I can't stand playing the 2600 version. The flickering.
Yeah, the flickering. I don't think you can stream it because the
I
capture
tried.
card.
I
The
tried.
capture
Yeah.
card won't see the frog.
Yeah. You have to
But,
adjust your frames per second.
If you want to stream some retro Frogger, this is your game here. I'll turn the music up a little bit. And this game actually has more music in it than the arcade game, Nix. The music changes a whole bunch as you play through it. Just keeps going, man. Cool music all the way through.
Oh, the music would drive me nuts after a while, though.
I actually love the music, though. I think it makes it kind of puts me in that mode.
Well, I'm glad it changed it up.
Frogger music, Commodore 64.
It had to change up there if it was going to play that first loop over and over and over again. Oh, no. No thanks. Now, did you know in Frogger you could actually pass through the side walls? You don't have to... Like, that's a trick I learned how to play this game.
I think that's just on some of the console, not on the arcade game.
Our Atari 2600 you can.
On the 2600 you can. Yeah, on some of the consoles you could, but not in the arcade game. Yeah, you're right.
You just ride the log and come out the other side.
Hey, it's still better than Arcade 1-Up. It has the original arcade music and then more. They actually added to the music. They didn't take away. They added to the music, Nix.
Oh, there's the fly. Nice. I know this is pre-recorded, but I'm like, oh no, get the fly.
Yeah, I had to edit some of it because some of the gameplays were so long that I felt like they were pushing the limit of what.
There we go.
Watch.
Race car
this
on
game
a
has
highway.
a nice ramping up of difficulty. Look how all the cars got real crazy fast in the middle. It pushes you because it ramps up really well. Like this to me was one of the best done arcade ports that I played out of all the games. I'd say this is very close to arcade as far as feel. With even more music too. Now we got the alligators.
Yeah, gotta be careful of those.
Gotta get the lady frog. You can select. I put on the filter that makes it look like an old TV, the CRT filter. It actually looks really good on my TV. I don't know, the capture card doesn't make it look good, but it looks great on the television. So you can kind of simulate that old school television look.
Oh!
You can pick the bezels. The bezels you can pick. See the bezel? They have a bunch of different bezels you can choose from. I didn't even look. Let me see where the poll's at. Rainwater saying there's some monkey business going on. Look at that. Dig Dug is pulling ahead with 56%.
Like I said, Dig Dug's...
I'll leave the poll up.
Dig Dug's a little bit harder game to play once you get into it. Like, after you get past the beginning levels, it becomes really tricky.
It's all about the fruit. With the Dig Dug, you gotta get the bonuses. And
well, trying to line up the boulders and stuff, it's very hard because they turn into those ghosts all the time, right? It's really hard to get that strategy going.
Dude, look at this. This is getting crazy. Now I got a snake. I got crazy fast cars. And I love this. Look at this. The way they came over, it's on the
I like
log.
that. That's a nice switch. That's a nice switch. Yeah.
This is a great arcade. Definitely seek out the Atari computer Frogger. Let's look at some more games. Silo. Hey, look, Carlo's here. Good to see you, Carlo. Welcome to chat. Welcome, Jason. Little Alien. Gorf is fun. I mean, these are really great games. So, you know, got some hero action. Nix, I swear I'm not cheating, but for some reason,
Activision.
Nix, my version of hero does not lose men. And I did nothing. I did not do anything to this ROM.
Oh, really? So if you die,
all my other games work where most of the other games work where the men. This version of hero, for some reason, I don't know if it was a ROM I got. It does not take lives away when you die. So, I mean, I guess the fun part would be you could actually play through the whole game. But
I see. Yeah,
I was trying to figure out what's going on. Why am I not losing?
Maybe
lives?
It's a difficulty setting. Maybe it's standard difficulty 7 is like
it's something
easy
either with
mode.
the ROM or something that is the way it's set. But basically, you don't lose lives. So anyway, those were the gameplay clips that I had. Okay, so I feel like it's time to give this bad boy a final rating and review. Okay, from your as an objective person, just tuning in, seeing this for the first time, what do you think of it from what you saw?
I like the how
Skywalker.
I love how smooth that emulation looks.
By the way, we did have some Star Wars footage at the beginning. We had the arcade game.
I do like the controller that it comes with it. Granted, it's interesting placement where they had the start button, the top button, quotation. So that would be something I'd have to have a hands-on feel to see if that would get in the way of my gameplay. If I accidentally hit that button during gameplay, that would be my only concern.
Let's talk about the first minus, Nix. The first minus. I want to show it. This is.
So it might, so that's your first minus because you have a hands-on. Yeah. So you
touch this top button. That's the reset.
Yeah, is that very sensitive?
Literally, yes, very sensitive. I was playing a game. I was playing it for about 10 minutes. And I accidentally somehow hit this button, and it reset the game right in the middle of playing.
Yeah, so that definitely is definitely a minus.
Now, is it ingenious that they figured out how to put 4 buttons onto the joystick? Yes, it is ingenious, but to me, it would have been just as good to put them in the front, where I'm not hitting them by mistake.
Yeah.
It is cool that the ring is buttons, but the problem is in gameplay, your reset is touching the top button. Okay. So
depending on how you hold the controller, your knuckles and stuff like that might get in the way.
There's a hidden button. Let's see, I think you can see it.
Yeah, and what does that button do? Is that like a...
I think it's like it goes into menu or reset or something.
Yeah,
But you
so
don't get,
it'll interrupt your gameplay, essentially.
it'll interrupt your gameplay. Okay, so cool that it has the buttons. Okay, I hate to say it, but the joystick, it's a minus. It's a minus because sometimes when you're playing the games, it accidentally triggers you out of the game. Now, can you put in a different joystick? Absolutely. This thing is very compatible. You can even use your Game Station Pro joystick on this thing, which is insane.
Well, there you go. Perfect.
So you can literally, but
all
you have
set.
to be wired, of course. But so there's options there. But what this thing is, it's a tribute to Atari computers. If you have a high nostalgia for Atari computers, this is a pretty fun unit to play around with. But compared to the Game Station Pro, which is an emulation juggernaut, compared to this,
Yeah, I would have to agree.
I would have to say the Game Station Pro
Has the advantage here.
has the advantage, and you can even play the 5200 games on the Game Station Pro.
And pardon me, and much more that we've already discovered.
Yeah.
It's very accessible,
Now,
especially with recent updates where you
if you
can
want to play
personalize
some
and customize it.
Atari computer games, some disc-based games that have multiple discs, it can do multiple discs. Next, it can do multiple discs, where you would have to swap out the floppy disk.
Yeah,
So this is a very niche product. It is very honed into being the Atari computer experience. Okay, so what it is it is a good way to emulate the Atari 400, 800 computers, but it's not a this is a jack of all trades. I mean, this thing, for the money, this thing is a beast as far as what it can do. I mean, you've found that out too. I mean, it works well, and the emulation on the Game Station Pro is pretty good in general. They have arcade, Nintendo, I mean, all kind of stuff, right? So
pretty much. It's a very small, almost all-in-one
getting
retro
back into
emulation
rating,
advice.
Okay.
Almost.
Joystick. Minus. I'm gonna rate it out of 10, Nix. Out of a 10, joystick design minus 1 point. Now, people are going to argue that it's ingenious that it has the buttons, but I'm telling you, from a gaming standpoint, it's a downside because when you play the games, sometimes you'll have weird stuff happen.
I'm gonna give that probably a 6, and only reason is because it cosmetically it looks pretty bang on to the original controller.
It is so well disguised. I didn't even realize there were buttons. Buttons on it.
It's losing points.
Functionality.
On functionality big time, because it's great that it looks good, but if it doesn't function, what's the point? So I'd be frustrated as heck accidentally hitting a button during a score chasing session with a particular game.
I didn't rage quit, but I was about to rage quit. I was playing a game and I was really getting into it, and it just completely took me out of the experience,
So that's a big minus there. At least with the Game Station Pro controllers, those buttons are out of the way. So there's you have to actually press it down quite a bit. It's not an accidental brushing of the button. You actually really have to press it to get it into the menu button or reset your game. So I definitely give this the advantage and a huge plus in comparison, the Game Station Pro controllers, and I would also say that the VCS would be a better controller as well in comparison.
The VCS controller is way better.
Over the 400. But like Papa Brad has mentioned earlier, fully compatible. You can use all these controllers if you have these devices and controllers. If you're interested in buying the 400.
Yeah, I mean you can plug in the PlayStation 4 controller evening.
So very accessible.
Very open platform, which is good as far as that goes.
But like I see, the difference is, like we said, the emulation juggernaut the Game Station Pro is. I'd really like to see someone deep dive and see what you can actually put on the 400 to see what it could run via the side loading, if it is possible. If it's on par with the Game Station Pro to be able to play.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really thinking hard about how I wanted to review this too. So I'm just gonna go with 10 points total for the system.
Yeah. So
minus one joystick. Okay. So now it's a 9 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah.
And then let's take another close look at it. I'm going to go full screen so we get a good look at the unit itself. I'm going to go full screen. Hold on. Let me play with my camera here and make it full screen on my unboxing cam. Okay. Now, here's the unit itself. Nostalgia, pretty cool. But Nix, I got to take another point off. Non-functional keyboard. How cool would it have been, instead of having the buttons on this joystick, how cool would it have been to have the start select buttons be the actual buttons like they were on the computer? Make this thing a little bit bigger where you could actually operate it, maybe double the size, and have the actual keyboard work. Okay, so I'm taking off 1 point, Nix.
Yeah, it's definitely a miss for a lot of consoles that are like that. That just have there's no functionality on the cosmetics. Nintendo was close with that, with their mini systems, with the reset, the power button. Those were functional, but it would have been nice to have like the cartridge portion kind of be functional as well. But like I said, it's just all cosmetics. It's what's under the hood that counts with these things. How functional they are.
Yeah. Oh no! Wait a minute, Carl. I gave 1 point for the controller.
The controller, yeah. Comparison overall.
Wait a minute, Nix. I just took another point off for the non-controllable keyboard, and they could have just doubled the size of this and made the keyboard work. Then I wouldn't need all these extra buttons on the joystick. So in some ways, those two problems are connected. Mm-hmm. But I would say 1 point off. So we're at 8 out of 10. Okay. The fun factor, if you have nostalgia for Atari 400, 800 games, okay, if you have nostalgia, if that is your wheelhouse, if you love that, if you love Atari, I would say this is a must get. If you're a huge Atari fan, which I am, I actually had one of these computers. So, for me, it's like going back and playing all these games that I haven't seen since I was a kid is super nostalgic. And finding new games like Wavy Navy, which is the best hidden gem in this whole package. I would say Bruce Lee and Wavy Navy are two really highlights for me. Mm-hmm. I haven't spent a ton of time. Boulder Dash is fun too, but they have a lot of good games included. The 25 games are all not, they're not all bad. So,
yeah, but I think it's going to lose points in comparison with the price point where this is sold at, comparison to the Game Station Pro and the VCS. I think it's going to lose a point there. Yeah, it seems like it's a little bit pricey for what they're offering, because essentially you're just getting like the hardware, one controller. Pro, Game Station Pro, you get two of these.
Low price emulation unit is almost unbeatable. You get two wireless joysticks.
Yeah, two wireless joysticks. Like you
plays all these games. It plays the 5200 games.
Yeah,
it plays the Atari 2600
for less money. Yeah, for less money. So, in my opinion. Yeah, unless you really have the nostalgia for the 400, I would say go for it. But if you're looking for an emulation device, that's Atari. This is not it for you.
This is not your vehicle for that.
No, there's other vehicles that you'll spend less money and
way better. By the way. Mm-hmm. Mega Mania is on here, the Atari computer version.
Oh, nice!
It is really fun. I remember we played that on your show that you do. When you were doing the Atari streams, that's a fun game. But okay, now the plus is you can sideload. So 25 games. They do have some really legit good games in the 25, but sideloading games makes me where I'm not going to take any points off for games. It'll play all the Atari computer games, all of them.
Yep. I would say maybe until, that'll be on hold until we find out if it is possible to sideload everything, because then it would lose points in comparison to the Game Station Pro if it can't be on par with what the Game Station Pro can do with the sideloading. And then and like with the VCS, it's a different beast. It has its online store in the retro, so that's a different, almost like an apples and oranges compared to when we get to that. But does VCS, does it allow sideloading at all? I'm not too familiar with that. You would know, you own one of those.
VCS,
can you sideload on the VCS?
You think you can. I really haven't got into that aspect of it. I mainly just buy the recharge games, the Atari Vault. Some of the indie games are really great, like Cash Cow just came out on the VCS. VCS is a very niche. Like I would rate probably but it's not in the same price range, really. It's not an unfair comparison, But
I
the
mean,
VCS is above all
it
this
was,
stuff.
is it a little bit more than the 400 or around the same? So it's over $200.
It's about $200, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's more expensive. But you can do more with it, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. So it depends on what you're in the market for retro gaming wise.
Carlo got his
community.
VCS on sale for $179.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stick with my final rating for this. You ready? Drum roll. Here we go. Drum roll. Final rating: 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
Oh, 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
Oh,
and it's not a must-have unless you're a huge Atari fan like me, but it's not bad either. Like if you have nostalgia for Atari computers, this is a great unit to get. Dude, I got to show you this Wavy Navy. I played this game.
Go
I
for
thought,
it.
you know who needs to see this? Nix.
Yeah,
I gotta
show
show
me
you this
Navy
game real quick. Just
all right. I'm gonna be the devil's advocate. I'm gonna give this system probably a 6 overall.
6 out of 10, which is fair.
Yeah. I would say it's fair because comparison to like everything that out there on the market and what you can do. Like I said, this is really a nostalgia item.
Yeah.
Not so much. You're not buying this for the functionality. You're buying it for the nostalgia.
You're buying it for the nostalgia.
Absolutely, 100% for sure.
And they blew the nostalgia because if that keyboard would have worked, it would have bumped this up into the 9 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
But by not making that keyboard do anything, I think they really did themselves a disservice. In my opinion.
But imagine how much that would the manufacturing cost. That would have like the whole circuit board, encoder board for all those buttons, I don't know. It would have been the price would have went up.
Maybe the price would have been.
It would have because it all of it adds weight for shipping too, right? Like and what's the practicality of it? None of us want to be like sitting in front of the thing pressing the buttons on there, unless that's what you really intend to do. We just want to have controller length and sit away from the console.
Yeah. So check this out. This is basically Space Invaders, but the ground is rolling. You see it?
Yeah, so that's a nice little twist.
This game is cool. This is a good retro game. I'm loving this one. It's called Wavy Navy. You might already have it in some of your builds that you have.
I probably have it on the Awesome Sauce. I think they have Atari 400 on there. I think
the helicopter comes down and it snipes you with bullets. So you even have. You got to remember, this is coming from a time when we were playing stuff like, basic shooters in the arcade. Look at that. That helicopter's deadly.
Oh, yeah. You got to get on top of him immediately when he comes down.
This would be one you might want to look into. This is a fun one. I don't know why my sound's not working right now. I've been playing with it too much, but
it's the capture card. That's what happens. Anytime you change device, turn it on, switch a game.
The capture card.
Yeah, I always find I have to unplug the capture card, turn it off, turn it back on, and then the audio comes through again. It's
get myself
messed up.
That's Wavy Navy. Wavy Navy's good. Carlo's coming with a really low 6.5. I don't know if it's a 6.5. I mean, I gave it an 8, which I think is fair. I think a 7.
Like I said, there's better stuff out there that can do the same. I think
right?
that's what it really kind of boils down to.
For buck. If I compare a bang for buck to this,
that goes along with it. The bang for buck. Yeah.
8 out of 10. If you're not an Atari fan, if you're not a huge Atari computer fan, maybe skip this one. I don't know. But I'm gonna continue playing on it and discovering some of the Atari games. I like playing the arcade ports because that's mainly what they did a lot of in this time period. So I'll keep working through them. I did Frogger. I played Gorf the other day. It was pretty fun. So, but anyway, so what you got going on next?
Oh yeah,
8 out of 10 final review for this unit.
Yeah, like I said, 6 out of 10. Just because there's other units out there that offer more, like already with the game safe, the 2 controllers that comes with, and we've already discovered the power it can do.
I'm just gonna call it. I think it's a nostalgia miss because I
think
$20 more and the keyboard worked. I would not have had a problem with it.
Yeah, I would totally agree with that statement. It's a nostalgia miss. Yeah,
Atari computer keyboard. And it's from gameplay. I almost rage quit. The first time I reset, It's like it was like
Yeah, a little bit more quality assurance would have gone a long way before that was released to actually
yeah.
understand the
Yeah.
frustrations.
Hey, what's up, Dan Z? Glad you're here. This
The
is
end
live,
user
by the way.
would have with this product.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what you got going on? You got any streams coming up?
Maybe it's a little bit this week. Just lounging around my week on holidays. So trying to get through Final Fantasy VII Rebirth slowly but surely.
That's
And
cool.
yeah, funny story about the rage quitting. Like I almost wanted to do that last night because when there was this when I wanted to retry from a checkpoint from a battle, whatever. You have some options, and when I clicked the recheck from checkpoint, it reset my whole progress of 3 hours worth of gameplay. So I wasn't happy.
Oh, my
So
goodness.
I had to redo some bits. I wasn't really motivated to do so, but
Yeah.
we got her done, and then I did a Mr. Do stream the other day, just showing some tips on how I was able to achieve a top score. It is difficult to be consistent with that game to get the high score, but once if things work out good, you can essentially get a nice average score every time. Better than what you think you can do once you understand the scoring concept of the game. So hopefully check out that video on my channel. And
So you got some Mr. Do gameplay up. That's pretty awesome.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you just started playing that too, and
I've never played.
immediately
I've never played it, but I did. That
you
was the
beat
only
me on
game.
the Friday Night Arcade, and
That
I
was
thought
the
I was
only
an
game.
adequate Mr. Do
That was
player,
the
but
only
you blew me
game I
away.
practiced a little bit before I played
Yeah,
it
you did
on the
great.
stream. I didn't
Incredible.
practice the other Mr. Do games, but I practiced that one a little bit, and it was a little bit of a learning curve at first. But then once you understand the scoring mechanic and how you get the extra lives and stuff, it's a very fun game. It's challenging, so I can
it's
see why
challenging.
it's very popular amongst the retro gaming community as one of the top retro arcade games that was ever created. I would say it's in the top one of the top tens. I would say of that era, for sure.
Okay, well, that's cool. Of course, you've also been telling me you've been working on getting your pinball where you can play OTG, and you can join us in the Creature from the Black Lagoon tournament.
Absolutely,
Right now, Next, look at that. That's a cool effect. Creature from the Black Lagoon
Yeah,
tournament.
I'm just waiting on some of the parts in the mail that I can to get the back glass working and all that stuff, and then get that thing positioned closer to my PC so I can use the PC I'm running on right now to
that's
run the
exciting,
games.
because once you get in there, you're gonna be another competitor because you love to score chase. You're ultra competitive when you play games, and to have you playing in our pinball tournaments. We had a 1 billion point score in Creature.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you got to do.
1 billion point
If
score.
you can, if you in games like that where you can reach that billion, that's you're doing something right. You understand what you got to do at the table.
We have the Sharks coming. And those are the people I want to see play, because that's what pushes you to get better. So, and maybe if once you get your OTG set up, maybe you can even we can do some gameplays of some of the tables when you get good at them, because there really is a ton of strategy in playing pinball, virtual pinball. There's a ton of strategy in it.
Like for
you just
example,
randomly hit the ball, you're not going to get very far. On
and some weird strategy, and this may surprise some people when is the table black hole. There's a strategy where you essentially have to purposely ball out your turn to get a really good score.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I'll explain this really quickly. So it has a two part, an upper or lower part of the table. The lower part, you want to try to get that bonus up to the max, right, while you're in there.
Yeah.
And as well as have your multiplier up to the max before you ball out, because you can't really get a lot of points on the table just bouncing the thing constantly around. But it's also easy to get the extra ball all the time. It's been a while since I've played it, but anyone who's played that table knows that getting the extra ball on that table is very, very easy. So it's just a matter of just every time you start a turn, get that extra ball as soon as possible, and then just keep doing that, rinse and repeat, and that's how you can get the score up really quick in that game, I've noticed. But it's funny. You have to ball out to get the score.
Yeah, Biggie Fries just took the lead. Now
get
he's
all those
crushing
bonus. Aliens pin, enjoying my Aliens pin too much. Nice.
Yeah, cool.
He's crushing it. Absolutely. That Aliens table is a pretty tricky one. I've got that. I've got that running on my arcade 1-up back there. The side loaded on that. Yeah, it's a tough table.
Okay. Well, I guess that's about it, Nix. Thanks for joining me.
Absolutely.
We showed some gameplay. Once again, when you set up your flash drive, make sure you have to format it to the FAT32. A lot of them aren't formatted to that. So you got to first thing you got to do is format. And don't buy a big flash drive because these games are tiny. I would say, just get a smaller one because you're not going to use all that extra space for anything.
Absolutely.
Even if you put the entire library, it's not that big. So, but thanks for joining me, Nix. Check out and go subscribe to Nix. Tell them your channel so they can go to your channel and subscribe.
Yeah, at Nix Reviews, and I cover just a lot of stuff that I'm interested in, mostly video gaming, music production, all that good stuff. Gameplay tips, high score chasing. Check me out. Absolutely. And absolutely, everybody have a great day. And I hope me and Papa Brad helped make an informed decision on whether you should be picking up on this Atari 400. Absolutely.
We showed it in action. Just a word from our sponsor, then I'll go ahead and send us out. Okay, I gotta give our sponsor a plug here.
Igor, go and get me what I crave. Evening, Igor.
If you want a better orange soda, made with more natural orange flavor than ever before, try Shasta. It's got the bright color, the sweet smell, and the great taste of oranges. Shasta, it's the orange soda that can make anybody happy.
It's here, the moment we've all been waiting for, from AtGames. Proudly announces in cooperation with Zen Studios, Williams Pinball, the legendary Attack from Mars is coming to AtGames. Shock as flying saucers wreak havoc. Terror as you take on the Martians. Legends 4K Collector's Edition, Attack from Mars, is available for pre-order now. This is an amazing table coming out from AtGames. Look at this gorgeous artwork, combined with one of the best pinball tables of all time. Ranked number 3 in Wagner's poll of the most wanted tables to be ported to AtGames. Attack from Mars is a banger of a pinball machine. Can't wait to play this. This is going to be amazing. Get 15 4K tables, including Attack from Mars. Got hundreds of tables available through PinballNet, which will be launching soon. Pre-orders start December 15th. What do you think? This might be the time to jump into AtGames with Attack from Mars. This has been Papa Brad with a quick little preview of Attack from Mars, the 4K pinball. Coming soon from AtGames. Pinball rules the universe. And as always, stay legit.
Better game. Dig Dug or Mr. Do. Tie 50-50. Game over.